Hi math friends, we're going to check out our decimal operations study guide here. So when we look at this, we have to be really careful with how we're reading this. This one here says that we need to order from least to greatest. Now when I do that, that means that I want the lowest one first. So these are all in the 500s, 560 range. Now I'm going to look at my ones place. So we got 7, 6, 7, 6, 4, 7, 8, 6. Okay, so it looks like my lowest one would be a 4. Are there any other 564s? I don't think so. So this 564 and 3/10 goes here. Least to greatest means I started the lowest. All right, 565, I don't see that. So 566 I'm going to go to next. I'm going to cross these out as I go along. Here's 566, 566. Now I look at my 10ths place. 9, a 1, and a 7. So this one goes next. 566 and 111 thousandths. All right, now 7 goes next before 9. So 566 and 71 hundredths. And then I got 566 and 93 hundredths. All right. Now I'm done with those. I'm looking at 567s next. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Be really careful with these. 567.4, 0.0. I'm just looking at the 10th place, 0.1 and 0.5. So 0.0 goes first. 567.09 or 567 and 9 hundredths is how we would say it. Cross that out. 0.4, 0.1. So 0.1 is next. 567.102. That one's done. 567.5 and 567.4. So 567.4 or 4/10. 567.5. And then my highest is 568. All right, so we're gonna look at our next part here. This one now, this says order the decimals from greatest to least. So this is a thing that might confuse me sometimes. I gotta read this properly, greatest to least. So I want the highest one first. So I've got 44, 45, or I could go least to greatest from bottom to top. That might help me too. So it looks like my lowest is 344 range. Then I got 345. I've got a 347. That's the highest. So I've got 347. Cross it out. I'm looking for my 346s. One. I've only got one that has 346. So greatest to least. We are descending now. 0, 0, 3. Okay. Now I'm looking for 345. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Okay, so of those 4, I want the greatest first. So 8 in the 10th place, 7, 6, 4. Okay, so 8 in the 10th place. This one goes first. 345 and 88 tenths. Or sorry, 88 hundredths. So that one's done. Now next, 7, so 345.779, or 345 and 779 thousandths. Next, 345 and 67 hundredths. Next, 345 and 4/10. All right, now I'm down to my 344s. These are the only ones left. So I've got 0.0. I'm looking in the 10th place first. A 2 and a 2. So the highest would be 2. This one is 2.6. Remember this one, fill in the place value, that would be 2.0. So 344 and 26/100ths, that would be next. And then going slightly lower, 344 and 2/10. And then the only one I have left is 344 and 5/100ths. All right, here we go. Calculate the sum. So I need to add these. The thing that I like to do here is I like to add them just piece by piece. So 2.389. I know I'm not saying that properly. And 7.903. So make sure that your decimals are lined up. And since I'm going to do one at a time, I'm going to save the third part for the end. So add these together. 9 and 3 is 12. Carry the 1. I should drop my decimal first. 8 and 1 is 9. 9 and 3 is 12. 2, 3, 3 and 7 is 10. All right, so then I'm going to take that sum, 10.292, and add it to my other addend, 53.838. Eight and 2 is, all right, drop my decimal. 8 and 2 is 10. 9, 10, so 13. 8, 10, so 11. 3 and 1 is 4. 5 and 1 is 6. So I've got 64 and 130 thousandths. Now, two ways to write this. This 0 at the end, I can definitely write there, or I can leave that off because it's at the end to the right of the decimal, and there's no non-zero numbers after it. So I could write it like this, or I could put that 0 on. Either way is okay. All right, now I have calculate the difference. So difference I need to subtract. Right, we're going to go ahead and 320.045, and we're going to make sure that our decimal is lined up properly. 953. Okay, so with adding and subtracting, I definitely need those decimals lined up. Okay. Decimal drop down, subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2. 4 minus 5 would be negative, so I'm going to borrow. I can't borrow from 0. I can't borrow from 0. Borrow from 2. 2 becomes 1. 0 becomes 10. I'm going to switch colors here so we see this properly. Now this 0 needs to borrow from 10. So 10 becomes 9. This 0 becomes 10. And now this 4 can borrow from 10. So this 10 becomes 9. This 4 becomes 14. 14 minus 5, I get 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. So this 0 matters. It's in the middle. It's not at the end. 9 minus 5 is 4. 1 minus 1 is 0. And then I have 3. So I'm going to write this a little bit neater at the end. 304 and 92 thousandths. So this 0 matters here. I need this 0. Okay? If it was to the right of the 2, I wouldn't need it. Like over here, I can put as many zeros as I want. But I need that one. All right. Let's check out this next one here. It says calculate the quotient. Round off your answer to the nearest thousandths. Okay. So quotient means I'm going to divide. So dividend in the house, I get 6.3. Divisor on the outside. I gotta set that up properly. I need to move this decimal over because I want to use a whole number for my divisor, which means I gotta move this decimal over as well. All right, so I've got 63 here, and then I've got 27 here. All right, so 27 into 63 without going over. So I'm not sure of my multiples of 27, but I know 30s. 30, 60, 90. So I'm guessing that this is going to be times 2. So let's try that. 2 times 7 is 54. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 5. Sorry. 2 times 7 is 14. I don't know why I put a 5 there. Put a 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. So 27 times 2 is 54. So I put a 2 here, and 54 is what I'll subtract. 63 minus 54, borrow. 13 minus 4 is 9. Now that would be my remainder, but I want decimal. Put my decimal straight up, put a 0 on. Drop that 0 down. I'm guessing this is going to be 3. 27 times 3. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. So I get 81. That is below 90. So it's 3 times. 3 times 27 is 81. Subtract, I get 9. Put another 0 here. Now, right here, I think I notice a pattern. Okay, I'm going to circle this in yellow. I've got 90 minus 81, and then I've got 90 again. Okay, we'll go back to blue. So 3 times 27 is 81. And yeah, this will continue. This ends up being the same thing. All right, so here it asks to round to the nearest thousandth. So if it's 333 forever, when I round it, it's going to be 2.333. So the reason we want to do that here is because we're being asked to round to the thousandths. So this is my answer for part A. All right, let's check out part B. I've got 206.31. That's my divisor that goes in the house. Divided by 18.4. And I want to move that decimal one space over. Okay. So I've got 184. And then I've got, after I move that decimal, I've got 2,063 and a tenth. All right. I'm going to actually go ahead and erase. No, I'll leave that there. We got space. All right. So 184. I don't know my multiples of 184, but I do know that it does not go into 2. So 0 times. 184 does not go into 20 because it's bigger. 184 into 206. Only one time. So 1 times 184, 184. Subtract that. 6 minus 4. Got to borrow. So I get 22. Drop down my 3. 184 into 223 once. So 184. Subtract again. Got to borrow. All right, so then I subtract here. I borrowed here. 13 minus 4 is 9. 11 minus 8, I get 3. And then this I get 0. I drop down this 1. 391. So I'm guessing that that's 2, right? 184 times 2, 368. So 2. So I put 368 here. Subtract, borrow, it's 8, that's 1. So I get 3 here. 8 minus 6 is 2. Drop down the 0. 230, that's only going to go in once. So that is 184. You got to borrow. So that's 2, that's 10, that's 6. Got to borrow again. 12 minus 8 is 4. This is where long division gets pretty long. Now I have a 0 to drop down. So 460. I know that twice is 368, so that seems like it's about it. So let's do 2 times again. So 368. Subtract. Borrow. Borrow. You get 92. I need one more 0. So 920. So it should be a little more. I'm going to guess here 184 is close to 200. 920 is kind of close to 1,000. So I'm going to guess 5. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 2 is 42. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. 920. Oh, that worked out perfectly. Sometimes you get lucky like that. If not, I would have needed to do one more, or maybe not. All right, this asks us to round to the thousandths. So in this particular one, I'm going to go 11.21. Now my thousandths would be where the next 2 is. So I use the 5 to look here. 5 or more raise the score. So this is going to round to 213. And there we go for that one. All right, we got more calculate the quotient. I got 7.8 divided by 1.6. So for my divisor, I'm going to move this over once as well. So I've got 78 divided by 16. 16 goes into 7, does not. 16 goes into 78. 3, 4, 5. Let's guess 5 times. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 80. So that's too much. Just a little too much, so I know it's 4 then. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4, plus the 2, 6. Subtract 64. I get 14. Now this is where I need to add in that 0 now. I want to have a decimal here, not just a remainder. So 0, 16 into 140 now. So if I know that 5 is 80, let's go ahead and guess maybe 8. Just make that guess. 6 times 8 is 48. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. Ooh, so I might be able to do more than 8. So let's try 128 plus 16. Will that go over 140, or is that okay? 6 plus 8 is 14. 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. So it looks like this is going over. So yeah, I want to use that 8. That was 128. Sometimes you got to do this extra work on the side. Subtract. Borrow. Drop down another 0. So now I have 120. 8 was 128, so it's got to be less than 8. It's got to be 7. Okay, let's do 16 times 7. 6 times 7 is 42. 7 plus 4 is 11. So 112. Subtract that, we get 8. Then drop down a 0. Oh, this is the cool thing about long division, everybody. So 80, I saw an 80 before over here. That was 5 times. Here's my 5. That would be 80. Subtract, and then I get nothing. So that's my final answer, 4.875. Nearest thousandths, that is in the thousandths already, 4.875. All right, now I go, again, dividend in the house. My divisor I want to be a whole number, so I can move this over once, 124. Then my dividend, I would move over the decimal once as well. So 406.1. Move my decimal straight up. All right, now I want to do 124 into 4. That'd be 0. Doesn't go into 40, but it does go into 406. So how many times? 4 would probably be too much, so I'm guessing 3. 124 times 3. Work it out on the side. 12. So 7. 3. 372. So let's do 3 times. 372. Get 4. I got to borrow. And 3. Drop down my 1. So I've got 341. So 3 times was too much, right? So it's got to be twice. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. Subtract. Gotta borrow. Gotta borrow. 13 minus 4 is 9. Put a 0. Drop that down and borrow. Or not borrow yet. We're going to think about 930. So 124. Let's try 8. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 3 is 19. 8, and then plus 1 is 9. So this is a little too much. So instead of 8, I got to go for 7. Okay, now we got to work that out. Another way we could do this is, since we have times 8, times 7 would be 1 multiple less. I can subtract 124 from 992. That's another way to do this. Okay, so I got 8. 12 minus 4 is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. 9 minus 1 is 8. So I got 868. Borrow to subtract. Borrow to subtract. Drop another 0. Got 620. It should be less than this. Let's try times 5. 124 times 5. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 2 is 10, 11, 12. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Worked out perfectly. 3.275. No remainder. All right, I'm going to write that answer on the top, just so we can see a little better. 3.275. There we go. All right. Calculating the product again. So product is multiplying. 5.8 times 2.4. Okay, so I'm going to multiply here. I'm going to do my partial product. So 4 times 8 is 32. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3, 23. We got a 0. For place value, 2 times 8 is 16. Carry the 1. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. My strategy now is add to finish the multiplication. And now I think of these two. I've got 2 decimal spaces, 1, 2. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Ends up right here, 13.92. All right, let's try part B. 9.2 times 3.5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 9 is 45, plus 1 is 46. 0 for place value. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 9 is 27. Now I need to add. All right, and then I need to, straight mark. Now I need to check. I got 2 decimal spaces, 1, 2 originally, so then I need to go 1, 2. So I've got 32 and 2/10. You could put the 0.20, but you don't need the 0 after the 2 there. All right, now I've got quotient, so I've got more dividing. There's a lot of dividing that you're going to be assessed on here. 6,516 divided by 12. All right, 12 goes into 6 0 times. 65. Well, I know my multiples of 12, so 5 times 12 is 60. Subtract, I get 5. Drop down that 1. 4 times 12 is 48. So I get 3. Drop the 6. 3 times 12 is 36 exactly. No remainder, no decimal. I got a whole number, 543. There's my final answer. All right, now I've got 6,118 divided by 19. Dividend in the house. Okay, 19 goes into 61. I'm guessing 3 times because 3 times 20 is 60. So I need to work that on the side though. 19 times 3. I got 27. 3 and then 2 is 5, so 57. Okay, so that's a little below 61. I get 4. Drop the 1. It's going to be 2 times because 2 times 20 is 40. Okay, 2 times 19 is 38. I can do doubles. Subtract and I get 3. Drop the 8. I just did 38. That's 2. 2 times 19 is 38. And I am done with this one. My answer is 300. My quotient is 322. All right, these ones are a little tricky. They say place the decimal point in the quotient to make the division sentence true. All right, so when we divided these, I probably wanted to go like this, like push this over. So then I need to push this over. So I did this. Let's make that a little nicer. Yeah, one way to do this is to say, hey, go ahead and try the problem, and you're going to see where the decimal should go. So I'm going to place it here. 5 goes into 5 once. I'm already guessing where it goes, but I want you to see this if you weren't sure. 5 goes into 18. Right, sorry. That would be 0. 5 goes into 8. Let me erase that so it doesn't confuse us. 5 goes into 8 one time. Subtract and I get 3. Drop the 3. 5 goes into 33 6 times. Now you're seeing where it goes without finishing the problem. So if you're good, you can stop there. Okay, because my decimal is after this. Drop down a 0. 5 goes into 36 times. So when I'm placing my decimal, placing it right there. Okay, make it obvious too. If you're not sure that it's obvious, write it out again. Put the decimal there. Next one, push your decimal over once. So I've got divisor and I've got dividend in the house. 253. Put my decimal here to get started. 4 goes into 25 6 times. So that's 24. What I like about these is like I already got the quotient here, so I know 6 is going to work. Okay, drop the 3 down. I know that it's going to be 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Now right here, I can be like, I'm done. The decimal has to go here based on the work that I'm doing. I don't need to do the rest of this problem. 63.25. All right, now we have plotting. So what we're going to do is we're going to plot the point and then the letter. 0.25. Now how is this set up? Between 0 and 1, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so each of these is a tenth. This is 0.1. This is 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. This is 0.5, and so on. All right, so 0.25. So 0.225 would be right in the middle of those two. So as best I can, right in the middle, and I'll mark that as A. Just going to go in order. 2.4. So 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 2.4. That's B. C is 0.5, so that's exactly where I put that 0.5 already. Here's C. Make sure that your point is easy to read. 1.7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is answer choice D. 0.77, 5, 6, 7. So close to 0.8, but not quite at 0.8. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm like, wait, maybe I should have done this one first. This is a lot less stressful than the division ones. 2.99, really close to 3, almost at 3. Here's letter F. All right, and then number 10, same idea. 2.22, so 2, 1, 2, a little after 2.2. Here's A. 0.3, 1, 2, 3. Here's choice B. 2.1, so over 2, 2.1. Yep, right on that line. Here's C. Let me fix that A a little bit. Okay. 0.9, so 9/10. 1.75. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and halfway between 0.7 and 0.8. Yeah, right about there. That's E. And then I've got 1.01, so just a tiny smidge after 1, not 1/10. This is 1 and 100th. So F goes right there. All right, so review that as you need to. Hope that helps, and do well. You rock.